Hello there everyone, and welcome to the Big Balloon Parade. It's been so long, hasn't it? Well, we're back, but this time we've got something different to begin with. Normally, we go over at the very beginning where our balloons are inflated, but this time we're starting off with something a bit more different, if you'd ask me. So you can see our sign is down. So already we've started the parade, but we're starting with this blank float. Why is it blank, you may ask? Well, it's a float that's here to commemorate Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This little present sitting here is our gift to her in heaven. She sadly died on September the 8th, 2022. So, we've had the honours of having this float become the very first in this month's parade. And first of all, we're starting our transition period, so you may see some old faces and new faces in this parade. And we're beginning with some brand new faces, these brand new yellow stars. They shine bright and are even larger than our old ones, which are about the size of a minifigure, but these ones are the size of 3 minifigures in size of height, that is. Now, they can wiggle around and move about and spin more freely than ever. And also for the fact that our parade has started off a bit differently is our Mr. Robot float, which we always see at the beginning, has no one on there. It's also to commemorate Her Majesty as well. And our first balloon is our only new balloon, as our existing newbies were seen in previous parades, and you'll get to see them later. So here is our newbie, SpongeBob SquarePants. And you may be thinking, have you seen SpongeBob before in the Big Balloon Parade? But this is a brand new SpongeBob. He's even larger and even bigger than ever before, and even more absorbent. So that means he can absorb even more water in his giant body than ever before. And of course, as usual, SpongeBob is furnished, of course, by Paramount Global and Nickelodeon. And following on SpongeBob is a brand new SpongeBob float, featuring once again our favourite Sponge on top of a little statue, as well as Patrick and Sandy Cheeks, his good buddies. And then following on that float is our Blue's Clues float with a giant balloon of Blue herself. Also furnished by Nickelodeon and Paramount Global. Much like with the SpongeBob balloon and float. And who's standing there? A blue ninja. Why? I have no idea. But still, this is also a brand new float, but still with the same balloon. And what clues will Blue be finding today on the route? I have no idea. And appearing for his second parade in this form is none other than our favourite wimp, Greg Heffley, better known as The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Furnished by Puffin and Disney Plus. And Greg is here to remind us that a new movie is coming out very soon, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, which is of course coming very soon to Disney Plus. And also to promote the brand new book, Diaper Overload, which is coming out in November. Or October, depending on where you live. It also can't be a big balloon parade without Chase McCain and his little buddies. Chase is now riding his delightful pullback car. But, well, it's not even a police car, it's more of a pullback car. Whilst his buddies are all riding the Jeep, as usual. Or is it a pickup truck? I have no idea. And the reason why they're being chased, no pun intended, here comes our pumpkin. So this is what we mean. You've seen this pumpkin before. And compare that to the other float, these stars. This is no walk in the park. But it makes sense because it's near Halloween time. Here's another familiar face in our parade, the clones float. All sorts of different clones surround us. Of all different types, from all sorts of different periods. Well, of course, they can't be on the Star Wars float because it's too small, so they have to be on this float, which is basically our Sesame Street float, in a nutshell, even though Lego versions of them do exist now. And now here comes a Sesame Street character who you're familiar with, who's been in the parade quite a few times now, waving her wand in the air and saying, "Abracadabra" is Abby Cadabby, the 3-year-old fairy in training, who lives, of course, on Sesame Street with her good pals, Elmo, Zoe, Big Bird, and all the rest. Not forgetting her foster parents, as well as her adopted brother. And also all her friends in the Flying Fairy School. And as always, this Muppet character is always furnished by Sesame Workshop, the non-profit educational organisation. Now, who's leading the way? Bowser Jr. in his clown car. And why? We've got a brand new float, Bowser's Airship. And it's not just a float, it's an incredible performance too. Now let's see the float in action as Mario and Luigi battle Bowser to rescue Princess Peach.
Bye-bye.
And here it goes. And now, our next balloon is right around the corner, because it was right next to it. It is Eric Cole's The Very Hungry Caterpillar, furnished by, of course, Eric Cole. We all know the story of this little character. He eats everything he can find, and then he grows up into a beautiful butterfly. Well, this lovable children's character is brought to life here as a giant balloon, which makes him, let's say, 37 times bigger than his normal counterpart. But still, he's very colourful, bright, and brings a smile to everyone he sees. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Oh, look at this. The fire department have arrived again for another time to, well, what to do? Of course, show off their awesome vehicles as the ladder goes down and they head off to another adventure. But beforehand, here's our brand new buggy, the Jeep. And here they are, ready to go off, as I said, on another adventure. And they're being led down by our little float with our little snowmobile and our singing and dancing firefighters, as usual. And they're being led off by, who else? Harold the fireman. This awesome balloon thingy. He's ready to fight some fires. In a silly way. Ooh, what's that horrible squeaking? I think I know what it's from. Our giant airplane float. With a nice little pilot piloting it. Ready to fly in the air. Look, we can see it riding on as well. Heading into our float unit thing. Ready to be used next time. What happens when you're being sent to your room without any supper? Well, you could be like Max, who imagines a place where the wild things are, and here is Wild Thing himself from the popular book from Maurice Sendak, furnished by Harper Collins. This monster is ready to know when to prepare for a scare, or when to know if you're really gonna behave. We see him in it. We've seen Wild Thing in our parade a couple of times now, so it's nice to see him again. He's been a good favourite of ours. And now, here comes our largest unit for a single franchise in this parade so far. Based on balloons, that is. And this is our unit for Pokemon Legends Arceus, the latest Pokemon game, well, until Scarlet and Violet come out. And here we've got all sorts of different representations of how the starter Pokemon in the game are represented. So here is Rowlet, a grass flying Pokemon, who is the grass starter of the Alola region, and here is represented as a novelty sized balloon, or a heritage balloon as we call it. Oshawott, the sea otter Pokemon from the Unova region, a water type, is represented as this small balloonicle sitting on a rock. And heading on to the row is the fire starter from the Johto region, Cyndaquil. So the thing with these starters is that they evolve into new forms in the Hisui region. And they're also here to promote something else. Because here is our very first Flatoonicle in our parade. And this is Arceus itself, the legendary Pokemon and the main mascot of the game. Ready to rise for something special. And also leading along is something brand new too. We may have seen it in the earlier Big Balloon Parades, but now here it is, and even better than ever, the Pokecar, based on a Pikachu, with stripes and all, red cheeks that are basically lights, and, well, lights itself. Parking along as we head on to another float balloon novelty that we haven't seen for a while, a giant Pokeball. About the size of maybe, let's say, 20 Pikachus? And they're all here to promote the brand new Pokemon special, the Arceus Chronicles, which is now airing on Netflix, where you can see Arceus rise to help Ash and his friends defeat the evil Team Galactic, who are trying to revive their leader, Cyrus. So just gotta catch all these starters and head on, because it's time for something we always need to catch on. It's our flying Pikachu balloon. So, you always thought Pikachu was always the electric mouse Pokemon, knowing good old electric moves, but nope, he can also fly as well with the help of some balloons and some ropes. And this is the first balloon in our parade to use real ropes. Flying ahead next to his good old buddies down on the ground. Pikachu and all these other floats today are furnished by the Pokemon Company International. So, gotta catch them all. Hello, Pokemon. Hey, look. Here's our giant robot float again. But this time, there's no one riding him. Ah, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Why? This is not being ridden on this time. It's funeral season, so sometimes our floats are not going to have anybody on. And now here comes a character dressed up back in a good old classic costume. Super cute Hello Kitty, making a grand return. We've seen her before in the Big Balloon Parade, and we've seen Hello Kitty before in her little kitty aeroplane and in dungarees, but here she is back in the super cute costume that we've seen before in the previous Big Balloon Parades. So, she's ready to fly, and she doesn't have a yellow cape, but she can fly, well, of course, thanks to the straws holding her up. And as we know before, Hello Kitty is here to make sure that everyone is good friends with each other, they stay kind, and of course, be happy. And she is, of course, furnished by Sanrio. As we continue on, look at this. It's a buggy, yay! And it can ride really well. Whoa! Look, here we are. The Kimono Girl's riding this float. It's based on a Ferris wheel cart. Sometimes in the parade they do have some weird things, and like here's another weird one, the extreme car. Bump and bounce it goes. And then here is a novelty that you're always familiar with, Chloe the Holiday Clown. Look at her. The leader of all the clowns and the only clown in our parade. The girls this time are riding on 3 separate floats. Blossom's got the Powerpuff Phone, Bubbles has got Octi, and Buttercup has, of course, the Mega Blaster Bot. And Who's next in our balloon list? Well, here he is. Normally, Papa Smurf is normally about 3 apples tall, but here he is pretty much 5 apples tall. Well, in human size that is. Whilst in Lego size it would be about 20. So here is Papa Smurf, furnished by Nickelodeon, and he's here once again to promote the Smurfs TV series, also on Channel 5. Clutching his heels as always. Wow, so many workers on this cart. This is a bit weird. Isn't this normally meant to be Santa's cart? He must have been booted off there, thrown around out of there, and, well, the workers have moved in. Here they are, riding with 2 Emmets for some reason. Maybe that he decided to duplicate himself, because you can have multiple characters at once in Lego. Very simple, isn't it? And then there's little Buggy. Buggy. Ready for a pit stop. And making sure that everyone is safe. And now, here comes our first balloonicle of today. Probably our only one. Whatever. It is Prince Dauntless, appearing for the 5th time now. And of course, he's always followed by Once Upon a Mattress fellow, Princess Winifred on the mattress, furnished by the Macy's Parade Wiki, as always. She's one of our tallest flyers. That mattress is about the size of a real one. And that's saying something. In Lego form, that is. Whoa! Bit wobbly and windy there, aren't you? And we're ending the first half with this little boat. It drifts off to sea. Hey look, there's football on board as well. Now we're on to the second half, and what? Santa's already here? I didn't know that. Never mind, that's not the real Santa, because this Santa is here to bring up our next few balloons. Yep, we have 8 more left, or 7 more left, depending on what you think. So as it goes, we're leading the way with some brand new blue Big Balloon Parade stars and the traditional ice cream cone. Very yummy indeed. And as we head on, here is a little boat, and it's got what's his face on it, the top hat guy, and it's connected to a skateboarding ramp, so that means Pepperoni won't be here this time. He's missing in action with his little younger buddy. And now, here is a familiar face, a familiar clown in the mall. He is the mascot of McDonald's, and he loves bringing joy to everyone he meets. Ronald McDonald, furnished by, of course, McDonald's. Here he's wearing this custom-made, exclusive to the Big Balloon Parade tuxedo. And this Ronald has appeared for a couple of parades now. He's appeared since 2019, so he has been quite a long runner. And of course, makes him one of our oldest, in terms of years at least. So there we are, and we give a special thanks to McDonald's for, well, what they do. And as the robot rolls by, here is another familiar face that you've seen before, and he's making his third appearance in the parade now. It's DreamWorks' The Boss Baby. And he's here to promote that his latest movie, The Boss Baby Family Business, is on DVD and Blu-ray and on digital download and wherever else. So if you can see, he's holding his traditional leather case full of money, I guess. He's wearing his business casual suit, and of course that grin to make sure that, well, everyone is making sure that they're as safe as they can. And then, as we lower down next to the Boss Baby, he's watching over these criminals. They don't mean business at all, they mean trouble. And they're here to bring us a police mayhem. Presented by the Boss Baby himself. As he continues to be held up by the straws, leading the way for the police force to make sure that everyone is safe. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. Get him! Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo, woo. Oh, and following on the police force and the Boss Baby is Harold the police officer, making sure to protect the parade route for any more criminal damage. Now here is an all-new expanded version of Snoopy's Doghouse float, with Snoopy and Charlie Brown standing on the float. And now our giant Woodstock balloon is now sitting on top as well. We've seen this Woodstock in many parades now, either on the floats or in the air. And they're followed on by, who else? Yep, that's right, Snoopy. And he's dressed up in one of his most famous guises, Joe Cool. Because he needs to be cool, of course, wearing this neon orange t-shirt. And as he keeps it cool, he's furnished, of course, by Wild Brain and Peanuts Worldwide, here to promote all sorts of new Peanut specials and whatever else. Don't forget to watch them on Apple TV+. Now, what are Dave and Alex doing here? Well, they're here to promote our brand new Disney float, purchased by the Walt Disney Company. It is based on the Disney Cruise Line ships. And we have passengers Goofy, Donald Duck and Daisy Duck, Mickey Mouse sitting proudly on top, and Captain Minnie Mouse wearing her best pink dress, manning it all. On the left, some Simpsons characters are there too. How interesting. And Minnie is proud to present our brand new balloon. Here she is, Minnie Mouse, appearing as a balloon for the very first time ever. You may have seen her before in the Jubilee Parade, But here, she's finally here for the first time. So, Captain Minnie Mouse is wearing, of course, a lovely dress and her best captain outfit. She's wearing a hat on top, and she's one of our tallest balloons ever. Furnished, once again, by the Walt Disney Company. And she's also manning it out with that pink anchor, whilst standing on its ends like a pro. What a great new addition to our parade. As we continue our Disney side, we have several more franchises represented here. Furnished by Marvel Entertainment comes this small group of floats. This small float featuring Nick Fury, Fall, Captain America, Wolverine, and of course Spider-Man. Spider-Man's also here to tell you that in the October Big Balloon Parade, his balloon will be back. We've had a UFO, and Spider-Man will be one of our balloons that will be coming back for one parade only. So stay tuned for that. Who knows, maybe we might see him again. And then furnished by Lucasfilm comes, look at this amazing float full of all sorts of different Star Wars characters. It's anything but Star Wars. And it can rotate around as well. Powered by this small land speeder. R2-D2's on the front. Yoda's on the top, looking around. Luke Skywalker. And baby Anakin down there as well. Where you'll find a Star Wars float, you'll find a Razor Crest knob balloon. And where you find the Razor Crest knob, you'll find Baby Yoda, or his actual name, Grogu, or the child. And here he is, inspired by Funko Pops. And he is furnished, of course, by Lucasfilm and Funko. So this representation of the popular Mandalorian character, Grogu, is certainly amazing indeed. And he's here to promote the next season of The Mandalorian, which will be coming out very soon on Disney+. Well, looks like the market has come into town. And some of our favourite peeps are selling some food as well as, well, cooking and grabbing stuff. And well, here comes Superman. Here he is. Because, well, we've got something bad to tell you. Superman is having trouble flying. So, what we had to do instead was attach him to a truck. So, there he is. That's the best thing you could do, so yeah, Superman isn't really super, but oh well. At least it's good to see him anyway. So, he's our largest balloon, and he's furnished by DC Entertainment. Of course, you can see his symbol on the front. And he's attached right onto the back of that truck. Certainly a weird choice indeed. Well, there's no straws because they came off, so yep. Superman is a little less super today, but oh well. Well, we're on to the Christmas section now, so our custom elf is here to make sure that, well, we're reaching near to the end of the parade, right over there. Still got 2 more characters left and a few more floats, so here we are. And then, here comes 2 kids. Rum, 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 rum. Now, here comes a hockey game. That's a bit weird. Looks like they are playing. Hey, look. Look at that on view. View of the float. And, well, never mind. Well, here we are. Here he is, flying right up in the sky. It's not just your average teddy bear. This is Snuggle, furnished by, well, what you'd expect. Hansel Consumer Goods. So, Snuggle is, of course, right here in his good old Christmas stocking, waving to the crowd and preparing himself for Christmas. As what we'd expect. You'd really want a teddy bear in your stocking, wouldn't you? Like this one. Still. Now, look at Bubba Fett. He's standing on a balloon of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You all know the song, don't you? But it's too early to sing it right now. We're only in September. And now, here comes 2 brand new stars. So basically, these are Santa Starflakes. But they're not Starflakes, they're just Santa stars. They've got snug Santa hats on top. And they both say, just believe in yourself. Which is what the motto of Christmas should be. You should believe in what you believe. And now, here comes a massive winter wonderland. It's full of snowmen, got a little granny, and a snowman delivering cookies. How snowy. And look at that ice skating rink. This is certainly a winter wonderland. And now, here comes one of our tallest characters ever to appear in our parade. You may have seen him before last year in our special Christmas parade, but here he is, right now, debuting for the first time in the main parade, the Elf on the Shelf. You'll recognise his character. He sits on your shelf, and then he reports back to Santa. He's here to make sure that all other scout elves are going to be ready. And he is definitely the largest elf on the shelf, in balloon form at least, but in paper form, well, not really. But he's a bit taller than the average elf on the shelf, but still. And hey look, there's me, there's Ben, and there's Aaron. We're all on this amazing giant Christmas tree float, playing music along the way. So that's why you may have been hearing some pretend music, but still, what an amazing sight this Christmas tree is. 4 stories tall, in minifigure form at least. Smaller than our balloons, but still, it makes up for, well, what it is. And hey look, what's up in the air? What is up in the air, you may ask? The Goofy Gnome. Look at him. He's so goofy. Well, not as goofy as Goofy, but... What a spin! Let's put our stage back here. We'll let the Goofy gnome pass. And well, guess who's here with a brand new float? Yes, that's it, Santa Claus. Here he is with his elves, and he's flying. Somehow, without reindeers or huskies. And there's a small tree float. And it's basically a massive winter wonderland. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Let me pull back next to you. Oh, there we are. Oopsie. Put it back up. Let the floats go back as well. Because although we've seen them pass, we need to let them go back as well. And here is our Christmas awesomeness. Made up of all these different floats. And I hope you enjoyed this great parade. And now it's time for us to all pack up for the next parade, which will be a retro versus modern theme. And as you may have seen with Spider-Man, he's returning for one parade only. But who will be the next few? You'll just have to see when it happens. Goodbye, everyone. And lead on! Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. The end.